Hey guys, and welcome back to my Bloodborne OneBro run. I'm going to start off today with an apology. I mentioned in the previous episode that I would finish it by fighting the Cleric Beast and Gascoigne, and obviously if you watched that episode you know that wasn't actually the case. The reason was because the first episode and this second episode were originally just one, and I decided to split them into two, and the one after I did that I forgot to actually change the audio in the previous episode to actually not mention the fact that I was fighting these guys later on. But that's just the way things go sometimes. Very unprofessional of me, so apologies for that. So yeah, with the Cleric Beast, everyone knows he's pretty much the easiest boss in the game, or thereabouts. At least he is for me. His attacks are very slow and very predictable. So even on a OneBro run, he doesn't really pose that much of an issue. Now my tactics with the axe is basically to keep it in its transformed state, and basically just keep moving to the side and behind him and just keep wailing on the guy. Really, if you just if you're careful, like I wasn't then, but if you're careful, you can basically beat him quite easily. You can just keep moving to the side, keep dodging his attacks, and just keep hitting him as you go along. You don't need to do anything more than just use your R1 attack. If you use the heavy R2 spin attack, yeah, you probably do a bit more damage, but it's not really worthwhile, and it takes pretty much all your stamina each time you actually do that attack, so you're probably better off just doing a single R1 attack as you go along. Obviously you got to keep being careful. The amount of energy we have is very, very limited, so as you just saw then, I had a couple of close scrapes while fighting this boss. So regarding the lore, everyone knows about the Radiant, or at least the Sword Hunter badge, which we're going to get when we actually kill this guy. For me, one of the most interesting things about that is that it mentions Ludwig. Now, obviously, before the DLC came out, everyone thought that, that's he's mentioned in this badge, this must be Ludwig. But now, since the DLC has been released, we know that actually isn't the case, because Ludwig is transformed into a different beast, which is much more, shall we say, hideous. But having said that, one of the things I find most interesting is the fact that in Bloodborne, beings can have different states within the nightmare than they do in real life. For example, Lawrence, you actually fight Lawrence as a Cleric Beast in the nightmare in the DLC, but in the real waking world in Yharnam, you have his skull. So his skull can exist in the real world, but it can actually also have, you can actually have him existing as a Cleric Beast in the DLC, and that's obviously two different states that exist at the same time. So as far as I can tell, it could also be the case that the nightmare version of Ludwig exists in the nightmare as the deformed, accursed version of Ludwig, but in this, in the real world in Yharnam, he actually exists as a Cleric Beast. So I don't think the two things are mutually exclusive. You can have two different states in the game, depending on which version of reality you're in. That blood is so cool. I love it. Honestly, the fact they decided to keep that graphic in there is really amazing. I really like it. Okay, that was the Cleric Beast. Pretty straightforward. I did it in one go, so if I can do it, most of you probably can as well. So we'll move on to Gascoigne now as well. And so this fight is in 3 stages. The first stage, he's actually carrying his blunderbuss and his axe, and he's basically just attacking you just like a normal hunter would. All you really want to do is keep the tree between the two of you. This tree here is what I always use. I keep my axe again in its longer state, and then I just use a heavy R2 spinning attack over and over again as he gets stuck in the scenery, as it were. When you move on to the second stage of the battle, he'll switch to the longer axe as well and start doing different. Obviously, he'll have a different moveset, and he'll actually become more dangerous. He'll be more aggressive, and he'll be doing obviously more damage to you as well. But I use pretty much the same tactics as you go along in the fight. I really like the fact that they called him Father Gascoigne. They didn't actually call him Hunter Gascoigne. And one of the things I've always liked about the Souls series is the fact that they let you figure things out for yourself. With him, you can just look at him and say, yep, he was obviously killing a beast when you first see him. He was talking about how there's beasts everywhere, and he's carrying the hunter axe. So straight away you can tell, he is a hunter without even you know, without any exposition on that subject, you know, you can just tell straight away, which is a really cool way of telling the story. So yeah, so this is the third stage when he's in his beast mode, as I call it. You've got to be very careful now. He gets hyper aggressive. He does a hell of a lot of damage, as you can just see. He almost killed me, and he can actually jump over the tree like he did earlier, and obviously he can destroy parts of the scenery. So, but you know, for me again, I just use the exact same tactics. You got to be more careful now, but if you just carry on using the same tactics, you will be able to stop him. Like, you know, that tree stops the guy, and the Hunter Axe spinning attack does actually stagger him as well, which is very useful in this fight. You got to be very careful of his combos though, because if you get stuck in one of them and he can actually, you know, stun lock you at times, you will get, you know, killed straight away. And you got to also watch out for the delays in his attack as well, because even though he does more damage and he attacks faster, there's an odd delay in each attack, so you got to be very careful to make sure you get the timing so you dodge at the right time. But he's definitely, you know, still killable, and again, I managed to do him in a single life. I don't usually play so well, by the way. You know, I think this is a year of practice showing through. Usually I die like 50 times or something. So okay, so just gonna light the lamp now here. Probably collect the item from Gascoigne's dead wife and open the gate to Odin Tomb. So I never really understood actually. Am I opening the gate to Odin Tomb, or did I actually just fight him in Odin Tomb? I don't know. It's really weird the way you describe that. You're opening the key from the inside. You're opening the gate from the inside, and it kind of puts me off as opposed to where exactly this fight took place. I mean, I assume this area here is the Odin Tomb. It's got a bunch of graves here. You can see that big obelisk in the middle that I just ran past, which actually, I assume is a statue of Odin, or at least what the citizens of Yharnam think is Odin. So I'm just going to travel up to Cathedral Ward now, to Odin Chapel. Before I do, you'll see the note, one of the first notes in the game that actually, describes Ron, the vacuous spider. The Bergenwolf spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us, a terrible shame, and makes my head shudder uncontrollably. So for me, the two mysteries on that are who was the master, that is the person referring to, and who actually wrote the note. I'll probably discuss that in more detail in some future episode. Right now, I think I'll just leave it here. But I think, again, those are two mysteries that we're not 100% sure about, so it's worth discussing that at a later point. Okay, so here we are in Cathedral Ward. Okay guys, thanks a lot for watching again. It was fun. I actually had a good quick run today. Again, if you enjoyed the episode, like, comment and subscribe. If you've got any questions you want to ask me, just let me know. And I will see you next time. Bye.